Okay, hi, welcome back to Spazzing with CP. I'm your host, Marie Wow CP, and your other host, Mike Loper. Hi, Mike.
Hey Marie, how you doing?
Good, what's up?
Not me.
Well,
I'm just chilling. Yeah, yeah.
what we talking about today? Let's tell our 6 viewers we have, or 5 viewers. No, probably four, because two of the likes on our YouTube channel are you and me. So it's probably
Yes, guys. Please sub and share. Help us get going. Yes,
yes. We're also on TikTok, Insta, Pinterest, um, and probably soon to be Facebook, because Facebook is popular.
and it's all spazzing with CP, right, Marie?
Yes,
Yeah.
I think my my Pinterest page is called Creative Lyrics on the Roll, because it's just like my whole thing is creative lyrics on the roll. So
Yes.
like I put a lot of my music and my poetry on there. So,
Yes.
but,
Well,
so
today's topic we're gonna be talking about living on your own with a disability. Yes.
eh.
Yes.
And it's not as easy as we all thought it would be
Right.
when we finished living, but living on our own, and we live on our own. It's not anything like the fantasies we had. Like Mike, I know you've been living on your own for over a decade now.
Right.
But before you lived on your own, let's just admit to everyone, before we lived on our own, what was in our heads? Like, what was the fantasy about living on our own versus the reality of living
To
on our own?
to be honest with you, I thought it was gonna be really simple. I thought I was just gonna be able to go out, open up the newspaper, find an apartment like everybody else, and just move right in. And it was gonna be all handicapped accessible. Not the case. Yeah.
And Mike and I live in two different situations where Mike wanted to own something. I want.
Yes. Well,
I.
I mean, like I said, at first I was open up to the idea of renting, or I saw a news story on in Pennsylvania. A lot of people were doing add-ons for their elderly parents or whatever, and the add-on only cost like 25,000 or whatever, right? But I looked into doing that here in Connecticut on my parents' house, and like all the contractors wanted like $100,000 or more to do, and I was like, I can't afford that. So then I contacted the United Cerebral Palsy. They hooked me up with a wonderful social worker, Michelle Bussolati, who's no longer there, but she was awesome. And we came up with, we tried to raise the money to get the addition built onto my parents' house. but we couldn't raise enough for that. After 2 years, we raised about $10,000, and and then we put my name on all kinds of assisted living um apartments in the area. I was on the waiting list the whole 2 years, and no callbacks, none at all, no callbacks at all of available apartments in over 2 years. And then and then finally, when I thought, oh, I'm gonna have to give up, and I'm gonna be living with my parents forever, I said, you know what? I'm gonna check my credit, because my credit might be good. I pay my bills. That's the one thing I do. Is, despite what Marie says, I'm not that cheap. I'm good with my money. Yeah,
Yeah, he's good with his money when he wants to be.
right.
But when he takes a girl out, he's cheap.
Again, we'll get to that in a future episode, but not today.
No, no.
Good. All right. Anyway, so we ended up going with Plan C. Um, it turns out I had good credit. Uh, the woman I was engaged to at the time, she had good credit, and she was also disabled, and she was looking to move out of her parents. So we Michelle hooked us up with a real estate agent. It took us forever to just find like a condo that was like somewhat handicap accessible, and we found about 5 or 6 in the area, and we settled on the one that I ended up getting, and yeah, I've been here for almost 11 years now. But like even the one I found, like it needed a lot of work, especially in the bathroom and stuff. They had a tub. I had a whole roll-in shower put in. I had to have the handicap bars put in. So that's where the $10,000 went, was to make adjustments to the kitchen and the bathroom and stuff.
Now, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Um, who are do you hold the title to your house, or does someone
Well,
hold it for you?
well, right now the bank does,
Well,
for the next 20 something years.
yeah,
But yeah,
but how
yeah.
does that affect your what I'm trying to get at is, how does that affect your like social security, or
Uh,
are
uh,
you on SSI or are you on SSDI?
I'm on SSDI, and they cannot hold the value of one piece of property or one vehicle against you. So yeah.
And I'm I'm the other way because I'm on SSI. I can't have anything in my name. I can't even get married, or everything would be
No,
taken
see,
away from me.
I always heard that too, but I heard a few years ago that the government changed the whole married law thing.
With SSI, because SSDI and SSI are totally different things. Because SSI and SSI, you can't not have anything in your name whatsoever.
And
And with SSDI, like you said, you could own one car and one house.
right, and to me, like that makes no sense. Like you're telling a person that they legally can't own like a piece of property, or they legally can't get married to someone they love. I mean, what the hell?
That's the difference between you and me, is that as much as I wanted to look for my own condo like Mike is in, I couldn't because of my SSI, because I can't own anything in my name.
Well,
So
my
I,
my question is then why don't you collect SSDI? You should be.
it was the way it was the way I was put on SSI at 18, and I stayed on SSI. You know, my parents, you know, your mother also had a state job, right?
Yeah,
My parents never had state jobs, they had city jobs. So
I
it
mean,
could be because of what your parents were under when they retired.
but I mean, uh, there should be paperwork that you have cerebral palsy and it's a lifetime thing. It should just be few clicks
Did
of the
you,
a few clicks of the
oh,
key. A social worker should be able to change you over.
did you work at all in your lifetime?
Yes,
For how many years?
about 6 years.
Yeah, it didn't work. Maybe if I had 2 good years of a job.
Yeah,
I didn't really work in my life. Had I had a job after I graduated college. No, after I graduated high school, I had a job.
yep,
And after I graduated college, I had 2 jobs that probably equaled out to a year and a half.
yeah. You know, if I was you, I would go down to the Social Security office and be like, why ain't I on SSDI?
I could ask, but I wouldn't know where to ask, you
You
know?
go to the Social Security office. That's where you go.
Yeah. So, but unlike, so in my case, what I had to do, because I knew I couldn't own the house, in my mind, I had all this ideas of grandeur of, okay, I was gonna own the house and set my own rules and have parties all the time, and
Kind of
no,
like I did. Yeah.
Mike did, but I didn't. I went to one of Mike's parties, and I think we were, he had a UCP party at his house one time, and
We had a Christmas party at my house. Yeah,
yeah,
it was a hell of a good time.
that was probably one of the best UCP outings that we ever had.
Cause it was the only one with booze. That's
No,
why.
no, 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 no. We
Oh wait,
did
oh no, there was the time at the bowling alley too. Yeah.
no, and there was a time at the casino when they took us to see the fireworks,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and
you're
then
right.
Shannon's
Yes,
like, "Yeah, I'll never take you guys again because all you guys were doing was dancing to the bar up there and getting drunk," and I'm like,
right,
"No, no, we weren't, but really we were."
right.
But so I put my I put my name on the list, and I put my name in 3 spots that I wanted. And then COVID hit.
Yes.
And honest to God, 9 months after I put my name on the list, and then probably within the first 3 months of COVID, my letter came in to say they had an apartment for me. So I went with my mom to check it out, and it happened to be the apartment I am in now, and I it happens to be in it happened to be my first choice on my list.
Well,
It
that's good.
happens to be in an area where I could walk wherever I want to walk. I'm living like right by a green, so I can walk up to the green, and now I have my bank, I have my gym, I have a couple coffee houses, I have a couple bars, I have everything in my fingertips, and all I have to do is walk outside to my apartment.
Right.
You
No,
know,
that's like with me. Like I told you, Michelle had me on a bunch of lists and stuff, and and yeah, but and luckily when I did go searching for my own condos, this was the one that I really wanted because this was the one. It was all on the first floor. All the other ones, all the other ones, you needed an elevator for, and all the other ones. Every time I went to go look at them a second or third time, there was something wrong with the elevator. Some of the times, and I was like, "Oh boy, this is gonna be a problem if I move into these other ones." So I'm so glad that I ended up where I ended up, and like you said, I'm close to the center of town. I'm not that far from everything, and I wasn't that far from where my parents actually lived, the next town over. So it actually worked out perfect where I ended up. You know,
so what town did you grow up in? You
I
grew up in the town you live in right now,
no,
right?
my parents lived in New London.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm now in Waterford. Yes,
Yeah, I grew up in a town over from me right now. So,
yes,
like, it was always a town I frequented all the time. So, the three towns I picked were the three towns I hung out in the most because my town, there was nothing in my town.
yes. But yeah, and there's been ups and downs to living on my own, and but and like there's times like when my mom passed away, like because you said like my SSDI was linked to her. So like when she passed away, I actually lost my Social Security check for like 3 months until they got it reinstated. So for
Mm,
like three months, I was side hustling like crazy just to pay my mortgage. You know,
yeah.
yeah,
So, and because I live in elderly and disability housing, my, it's only 1/3 of my income.
yeah, and that's another crazy thing, right? Because I've talked to social workers and stuff since I've been living on my own. Like the state has tons of programs, like you said, if you rent to help you with renters assistance, but they have nothing for somebody in my situation if you own.
So I didn't know that. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I just pay 1/3 of my income.
Yep.
So should they apply for renter assistance?
It sounds like you're already getting it if you're only
Oh,
paying one
okay.
third of your.
Okay, yeah,
Right.
yeah. So, but unfortunately, what happened to me was like I said, my letter came in moving. Public COVID happened in March of what 2020, and in June of 2020, I got my letter saying that I was able to move in for probably a full year and a half
Right.
to 2 years. I was stuck in my apartment because of COVID.
Right.
So I think even though I didn't want to be in my apartment because I wanted to go on my own to do things, I think it was the best for me because it got me used to fully living on my own without many people coming in and out
Yeah.
because of the fact that many people couldn't.
Yep.
So it was only like my parents and some family.
Yep.
But so during my whole year and a half of staying in, I got to really know who I was and understand my CP and understand. I guess I want to say the power of what my CP holds for me. Like I understand, and I even do too. CP to us is kind of like, it's kind of like we don't want to have CP, but we have no say. We have
Right.
CP and we have what we have, and we have to make the most of what we have.
It's a daily battle. It really
It's a
is.
daily battle, it's a daily challenge. It's how you face those daily battles and those daily challenges that can make or break you. And,
Yes.
you know, sitting in my apartment for a year and a half by myself, I really got to understand what the power of my cerebral palsy can do. It's a part of me. It's not who I am. It's a part of
Right.
me just like my brown eyes are a part of me. So why can't I incorporate it to how I want to live?
Right.
And I did, and it's all about, I'm not gonna say I'm always a positive person, but you have to find a positive in a negative thing, right?
It's life is a learning experience.
Yes.
Yes.
And and I think that's what living on my own has taught me.
Yes. And
Was
when I first started this process, like I said, originally I started this. I was engaged, and then, you know, after 3 months of living with me all the time. I mean, we were together 3 years, and like we would constantly spend weekends and stuff together. But after actually living with somebody every day for like almost 4 months, she realized she didn't want to live with me no more. So then I had to completely start. I had to get the house refinanced. I had to have my dad co-sign, and honestly, inside, I thought, oh, I'm gonna fail. After like 2 months, I'm not gonna be able to. I'm not gonna be able to pay this mortgage on my own because now it's fully my responsibility for the next 30 years. At least before I thought I had a little bit of help, you know, and I thought secretly in my mind, I thought in 2 or 3 months I'm gonna be back living with my parents because I'm not gonna be able to cut this. And 11 years later, I was wrong, and I'm still here. And so,
And I didn't think that I would be able to live on my own during a pandemic, but I thrived during the pandemic because the pandemic on me to really sit down with myself to understand myself. And while I was doing that, I was doing some writing and some journaling and stuff about how I felt about who I was and how I felt about my cerebral palsy.
yes,
And that really helped me a lot. Oh, look, I turned the closed captions on.
there you go. Oh, I hope everybody remembered to set your clock back last week. Eastern Standard.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's really what it's like living on your own. It's fun, but challenging at the same time. It's like we have to make a budget for ourselves.
Right.
I'm bad with money, so making a budget is not my forte.
Yeah.
And we have to try to save money as much as we can, but that never happens because,
Because we don't have any to save in the first place.
yep, exactly.
Yes.
And life isn't a party every day because we do have to. I see living on my own as a privilege, as a privilege
Yes.
because I could be a disabled person and have to live with family all the time, and I'm
Or
not. You
or or after I had my spine fusion, I had to live in a rehab facility for a few months, and the daytime staff was okay, but the nighttime, after I used the bathroom all the time, I kept telling them, I don't feel clean, I don't feel clean, and then they're like, oh, you're clean. Well, I broke out in a nasty rash, and my parents took me out of the rehab early because they weren't taking care of me properly, and that's my biggest fear is ending up in a nursing home or a rehab in the future and being in that vulnerable situation again.
yeah, and I think everyone is, and I think that should be our next topic is about PCAs and about people who like help help
Yeah,
us out,
yeah.
and
Yeah, that would be an excellent topic for episode 3. So we'll cover
yeah,
that in episode 3. Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
But as for right now, you know, getting back to living independently, we always have to make sure that where we place things is where we could reach them and not fall over them or get stuck on them.
Yes, that's like that's why like you see I have things in containers over here on the bed, like my snacks and such things. So so that way I can get to them when I need a snack late at night or early in the morning, things like that. You know.
Yeah. And it's you know it's all about being sensible on where you how you live. And you know the ideas that you might have in your mind right now, if you're still living at home, are probably good ideas for your mind, but not good ideas in reality.
And what I would say to that, what I learned in my almost 3 year process it took me to get out, live on my own, is like don't and again, thank you to Michelle, because she did not let me give up when I wanted to give up plenty of times, and I got frustrated, and like it's just don't give up on yourself, and always be willing to think of, like I said, my original plan was to either get an apartment or get a attached thing built onto my parents' home, and neither of those things happened. Plan C is actually what happened, was actually going out and getting a mortgage to get my own place. You know, so I'll always be willing to like think outside of the box and try different things too.
And if also, and I'm not a big opponent of lists. I hate making lists, but with something big like this, make a list of, okay, this is what is in my mind about how I want to live. But in reality, I could do this, and this,
Right.
and, you know, maybe at some point your dreams can crisscross with your reality, but you have to write a list of what is in your mind and what is really achievable for you.
Right. So
You know,
what we're saying, guys, is just keep an open mind, and never give up on your dream. You know.
and I don't know about you, but I'm like the slogan for Silver Pussy is life without limits. And yes, that's a good slogan, but in my mind, life without limits is not an an attain, not an attainable goal,
Right.
because your CP is always gonna limit you, whether you have CP, different disability, or just an average person without a disability. There is always gonna be something that limits you, whether
There's yeah, there's always going to be obstacles in your way.
and you just have to make those obstacles work for you.
Right.
And that's why people call me Marie Wild CP, Marie Workout with cerebral palsy, because I find a way if life limits me, I find a way around it. Might take 1 hour, might take 10 years. But I do find a way to get what I want.
Yep. Yes.
And chop.
Yes.
And chop.
She's stubborn. Yeah.
But Loper's as stubborn,
Yes.
even more stubborn than me.
Yes.
But that's why we get along.
Yes. Well, I think it was a great discussion this week, and I look forward to next week's topic.
Yes, next week's topic, 2 weeks, whatever.
It is going to be the whole PCA process, and yeah.
Yes. And if you feel like you want to come on and hang out with us one day, please just email us at
Yeah.
spazzing with CP
Yeah.
at gmail.com.
I've already had a few broadcast friends who have reached out to possibly coming on with us in the future
That's
on different topics we do. So
That's wonderful.
yeah.
I have to get on you now and do stuff.
Yes.
See, Mike's on you now, and I don't like talking to myself. That's why having having a show like this is good because I'm talking to someone. I don't feel like I'm talking to myself.
Yes.
Uh,
I don't mind talking to myself. It's just the answering myself that makes
yes,
yes.
and I'm actually working on maybe doing another YouTube channel with a friend of mine, and I'll talk a little bit about that as it happens.
So in other words, she's not doing good with me, so she's going on to Plan B. She always have a Plan B, guys.
No, I'm having you as my main one, and my PCA and I are working on something together.
All right. Well, Marie, I'll talk to you in a week or two when we put up episode 3.
And now that I know how to put this one together, I'll put it together faster than the last one.
And if you don't, blame it on your cerebral palsy. On that note, goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.